Hey guys, today I'm going to be trying Etch for the first time. Etch is a new page builder. It's still in beta. It's not totally ready for release yet. That's what I hear, but I also hear that they came a long way. So Etch, yeah, it's a page builder. It's a new approach to page building in WordPress. It's more focused on you actually being able to edit the code, and you have to kind of know the fundamentals of web design. So hopefully I'm gonna get through that. But as I said, it's the first time I'm trying it, kind of, because I have tried it for about 5 minutes, for about 10 minutes maybe, and I thought it would be more interesting to actually make a video to see for you guys if you're interested to exploring it with me. So this is kind of like a first look. There's probably gonna be so many different things that I don't understand. It's always when you start learning something new, whether it being like Divi back in the day that I started working on. Oh my God, I was so frustrated the whole time until I figured out how to use it. The same goes for other page builders, or it goes for everything, I guess, but right now I'm using Bricks Builder as my main page builder for WordPress, and I remember getting into that as well. It's pretty difficult to learn new things, so I'm really looking forward to trying out this Etch here. It should be pretty stable now. It's in a beta version, as I think I said already. So let's just dig into it. I'm just gonna try to build a simple hero section, maybe some navigation. We'll see where we get, and then I think I'll probably share my thoughts on the experience as we go through it. Before I move on, I just want to tell you that you can actually go ahead and buy Etch now. I bought into it about a year ago, where you could get like these lifetime licenses. I don't know if you can still get that. You can go to the pricing page here, and you can see that an agency lifetime $800 on 50 production sites. So yeah, the price is going up constantly, and it's probably not going to be cheaper anytime soon. So if you want to try this out, you should probably try it out. You can just try the $900 or $99 a year plan first if you want to try this out. I was lucky and I got the lifetime unlimited a year ago or something like that, buying into Etch. So yeah, let's dig into it. Okay, now I've installed WordPress, a fresh version of WordPress on my local host, and I don't have any plugins or anything here. I'll go to my customer dashboard on Etch, and you can see I got it back in April, so it's not a year ago yet. But anyways, it says here, make sure to download both the plugin and the theme. You will need to install both. First time I tried to install this, and the only time I tried to install this, I couldn't exactly find out where it was. But I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to assume that this is the newest one. It's the beta 3. So I'm going to download this one. And it's really hard to know exactly where you find the theme. But you have to actually scroll down and go to the next page, and stuff like that. So that would be great if they just had like a button somewhere else, or a link for the download, so I don't have to go through all of these versions right here. But anyways, I looked for it. I spent 15 minutes looking for it first time I tried this, so I know where it is right now. So now I got these two files. I'm going to go back to my WordPress here in the plugins. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add the plugin. All right, I activated the plugin now. I'm going to go to my appearance. I'm going to go to my themes, and then I'm going to add the theme that I also just downloaded. All right, so there it is. I installed the Etch theme, and I removed the other themes that comes with WordPress. So we should be ready to go. One thing that I'm a little bit, I can go ahead and customize this. This is probably a WordPress thing that shouldn't be there, because I shouldn't probably be able to do this. I'm not quite sure, but I see it does not look like anything WordPressy. So I think it's probably something that's built in. I can go to the navigation and all that stuff. So right now I'm just going to start exploring and find out what's going on here. I can see some of the things here. I'm not quite sure what this actually is. I never go this way when I want to go ahead and make any edits. But one thing I'm a little bit not worried about, because I'm sure there is a solution for that. I have read and I've heard that Kevin Geary, the person behind Etch, one of the people behind Etch, the founder at least I know, he has said in a video, as far as I remember, that we shouldn't use a theme. A page builder shouldn't be a theme. It should just be a plugin, actually. But you need to have a theme for it to work properly. So the the whole point of this Etch theme is you download it, you install it once, and then you forget about it. However, I'm a little bit, I don't know, because usually I use a child theme, and I go into my functions PHP file all the time, and I add code, and I do different things. So if we're not supposed to use this theme, I can go ahead, I can have a look at my editor here, and this is probably what it usually I'll get some code, right? But I'm not quite sure what I can actually go ahead and do here. So maybe this is Etch theme. Okay, I have no idea what's going on. I think this is probably a new 6.9 WordPress thing that I haven't noticed until now. Anyways, my point is, where do I actually go and add things to my functions PHP file? There must be somewhere else in Etch where you do that. So that's my first thing that I'm thinking about now after installing the theme. Anyways, we get this menu item here called Etch. I need to activate it, which I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna click Save and Activate after putting in my code here, my license key, and everything looks to be okay. So I'm gonna go to Etch one more time, and it doesn't have any settings here at all. That's the first thing I noticed. So I guess I'm just gonna go to a page. Let's go to pages here, and let's just go ahead and just create a new page. Let's just add that, I guess, with Gutenberg like this. I'm just gonna call it home, because that's what we're gonna try to do. I'm gonna publish this one, publish this one. I'm just gonna go back here, and then I am going to go in my settings, reading, and I'm gonna say that the home page is my home page, and then that's gonna be it for now. Of course, we don't want to go and yeah, the permalinks are set. Everything is okay. I'm just testing it out. So I'm gonna go to the home page here that we just set, which is this one. So I can click on Edit with Etch, and this is where I guess all the magic is happening. So it was pretty snappy. Of course, it's on a local host, but it was pretty snappy. I just click this one, and it's editing. It doesn't have to load up a big editor or anything like that. It seems so. And I have like these bars. I can make this, I guess. Oh, here I guess I'm just changing the viewport size. That's interesting. I get this up here. There are no breakpoints. It's everything is based on container queries as far as I know. And over here we have like this structure panel where you can get an overview of all your elements, I think. I guess this one is like to have a look at it on the front end. Yep, that looks right. I'm gonna close that one down again. And then we have some different stuff here. I got my content hub here. Okay, so I actually probably didn't have to even go to the back end of WordPress and create a page. It looks like I can create that from here. I have posts, I have pages, and it looks like I can just go ahead, create, enter a title and a slug here, and then I can, yeah, create pages. It's plural, so maybe you can create more than one page. I'm not sure about that. Let me just try something here. I'm just going to try stuff and then create. I have a new one. Oh, I guess, that must be a mistake. Then I have to click this one before I get a new line here. So that's okay. Well, anyways, it's cool that you can just create pages like that from in here. Let me just try to make a test page actually and see what happens here. It's automatically going to enter the slug here, but I can change the slug by clicking here if I want to. And then I guess I just create pages. So I can only create one page at a time, but anyways, that's it looks like I can create more than one. So that's pretty cool. I can create custom post types here. So I can actually go ahead here, enter a label, singular. That looks like if you do it with ACF or whatever. And it doesn't have a lot of different settings. I wonder if when you create it, you get some settings. I'm not gonna get into this right now. I think it's something for another day. I'm just getting started, so I'm not gonna start messing around with custom post types yet. So custom field groups, I guess I can go ahead and add some of these as well. So this is also like ACF. And this is actually one of the reasons that I bought into Etch, because you know, it's nice to have an integrated system where you can create custom post types, where you can create custom fields, things like that. You don't have to have any third-party library, or not a library, but plugin to take care of that. So this is really great. I don't have to pay for another plugin to do all of these cool things. So I'm not going to try anything here. I guess I got some media library here. This looks a little bit weird, but it's in beta as well. It's just a test so far, it says. But it looks like it's just opening up the normal WordPress media library when I click this one. So that's cool. I got access to that from there. Templates, I can go to templates. I don't have any templates. I don't know This is a 404 page. I guess that's what all websites should have. So I guess it's just created with that. But index, I'm not sure what that is, but I don't know. Maybe it's the index HTML file. I have no idea. Or index PHP file in the case of WordPress. But I can create taxonomies, I guess. Yeah, taxonomies. I guess that's taxonomies for the templates. And then you can create, I don't know what this one actually means. Single fallback. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's interesting. I'll have to look into that. We got a style manager here, which is something that's brand new, I heard. And we're gonna maybe have to look into that to find out what's going on. You got variables here, you got selectors, you got style sheets. Oh, you can add style sheets here. So I can actually add a new style sheet, I guess. I can just enter a name and then, okay, so I guess this is where I can add my global styles. Okay, let's have a look. There's a loop manager here. I get some JSON. Yeah, it's just a JSON object here. So I guess this is what you can loop through. You can also select from WordPress, and I guess, yeah, you can loop through whatever it is that you actually want to. You can go through posts here. And this is the query. It's actually a PHP query that you have to, I guess you have to write it by yourself, and then you can get the output over. Oh, if this is what I think it is, this is really cool that you actually get an overview, because usually you're not going to be able to remember everything here. So you can actually get a whole overview of the object from WordPress here, I guess, from the posts, and then you can get an overview there and find out what's going on. So that's pretty cool. Oh, that's nice. Anyways, if I understand it correctly, I can go back to the editor here, it looks like. Let me just try and do that. No reason to do that. I'm going to go back to Etch and see how fast it is. That's pretty impressive how fast it is. Right down here, when I had this one open, these were gone. So let me see if I can close this one down again. And then I got hide and show panels. Oh, okay. So I guess this is a panel. I can select HTML, but I don't see an HTML editor now. I think it's going to appear when I add some HTML to the page, actually. And CSS and JavaScript and style inputs. That's the, I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a styling panel that I heard was being removed. Then we got the element settings, whatever that is. We'll have to try and, yeah, switch this on and off as we go along. Then we got hide the interface. Okay, that's just hiding the structure panel on the right side, not the entire interface. So down here at the bottom, I have, I can insert, this is what I think, or actually I do know that it is, elements that I can insert. So I can insert a section, a container, and I guess that the reason you can do this is it also probably already has some presets or something like that. I'm guessing that a container already has like a max width or something like that. I'm not sure. And then a flex div and just a div. So I guess a flex div is just like a block in Bricks Builder. That's just a div set to flex 100% width. Maybe we've got a div here. We got a heading. We got text. So this is kind of what this is kind of what is interesting about Etch, that you don't have like this drawer of many different elements that you can just drag and drop into, like you're used to from Elementor, Divi, Bricks Builder, stuff like that. You have the very basic things here. So you have like basically containers, headings, text. I'm not sure how you're going to use rich text in these. There's a link here you can add, I guess. I don't know exactly what that is. That's probably just an A tag. Yeah, it is right here. I clicked it. I'm just going to delete it again. And then you got images, you got an iframe. Yeah, why not? You got an SVG, you got a loop, and you got an if condition. So, okay, so you have conditions also. That's pretty cool. If I do that, okay, so that's interesting. You got if conditions in HTML. Never seen that before. JavaScript makes more sense. That's a programming language, so you can actually make conditional statements there in many different ways. But I do not know what this is, and maybe I'm not going to try to use it yet. But anyways, I just wanted to try and get going with this stuff here. So I'm just going to try to like do some basic stuff, like make a hero section and find out how you actually use this, if I can figure out how to use it. So what I'm thinking here is I need to add this section, and that's what I just did. I see I get there's some shade, there's some shadow stuff here. When I click insert section, it automatically adds a section, which is a semantically correct section HTML tag here. So I guess this is where if you want this to be a div, maybe you want this to be a div, or you can just go ahead and change it here and just click on it, I guess, double click on it. enter, yeah. And then it changes down here as well. There used to be like a styling, like we'll get to that, I guess, but I think there used to be a styling panel here where I could add a background color or whatever. It's a little bit funny that it's that I have this background. It's like a gradient in this background. I don't know if that's just a part of Etch or whatever it is. Anyways, then we got the div container. I don't have any styles in this, but I can see that there are some styles applied to it actually. Let's actually just try to save this and just go to the front end and see. Let's go and inspect, open up this, and let me pull it down here, and there should be something here. What is here inside the body? I got the main element here. Let's see what we have. We have a section. It has just has some data attributes. It has container here. So, but it has some styles. It has like display flex, column, and it has a max width here. That's what I was thinking about. So there is a global variable content width set somewhere. The thing is, where do I actually set that? Would that be inside my style manager here? Would I have like these, where are these variables? This is just default. I can create my own variables, but I don't see anywhere where this is actually set. So, and I'm not sure how do I get, oh, I have to click this one. Okay. So that's all great. So we got a section with a div, and let's add like two more flex divs in here. I'm gonna click this twice. It opens up this, and then there's like this placeholder here that it looks like I can add more stuff in here, and that's of course what I have to go ahead and do. I don't know what this is. Disable instance sort. I have no idea what that is. I can fold this. I can I can open and close everything at the same time. Wonder what happens. I can duplicate it. I can delete it. I can hide it, I guess. Oh, I guess it's just from the builder I hide it. That's nice. Then I can go ahead, right click it, and I can see, oh, I can create BEM classes. I can wrap. I can, maybe I can unwrap. No, I cannot do that yet. I can wrap in a loop. That's interesting. And in a condition, that's interesting too. Okay, that's nice. Interesting. It wants to, yeah, I'm going to allow this. So let me try and go to this flex div right here. I am just going to actually give some naming. Hero, I'm going to call this a hero section. This is fine. It can be the hero container. And this could be the, let's just say, text wrapper. And this is going to be, I don't know, media, whatever. Maybe there's going to be a video there. I haven't planned anything at all, so I'm just going to keep this. And inside the text wrapper, let's add a heading. I guess I just click here. Yep, we got a heading. It's automatically an H2. We don't want that. You want it to be an H1. And it automatically says insert your heading here. And it automatically makes this one. So I guess whenever I click on this, I see the HTML for this. Which is okay, I guess. It's great. I mean, if I click on the section here, I see everything that I have in this section. I'm wondering if I want to get the whole HTML output, how I would do that when I add some more stuff here. But here is the whole thing. But if I have another section, if I go here and I add another section, I guess I don't want to add a section to a section. It doesn't do that. So I get this one, but I wonder where the whole thing is. Oops. Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete this again. Anyways, I don't have any styles on this yet. Let's go ahead inside this text wrapper again. Let's just add some just normal text, I guess, by clicking here. And that's fine. That's in a paragraph. That's great. Calling heading, it's fine. Maybe call this the lead. Then maybe I want to add a button or something like that. Call to action button, but I don't see any buttons here. I see flex divs and all of this. So the question is, how do I actually create a button? That is a good question, I think. So what I think I can do, what I know I can do, what I actually tried to do before, I can add something here. I can add a div. Like, I guess that's the most simple element with nothing else in it. It has nothing here. It's just a div. And then I'm wondering if this is the way to do it. You can go here, and then you can actually just enter the, let's say that we want this to be a button. I guess, I'm not sure if this is the right way of doing it. I feel like it's a little bit weird. Maybe I need to play with components and things like that and create buttons there and then put them in. I'm not sure how this works, but this is kind of weird. I'm just going to call this CTA. And I guess I am just going, Yeah, it's CTA button. Why not? So we know it's a button. That would be a good idea. And heading, text wrapper, whatever. And then we got media here. And then maybe I'm just going to add maybe that should be an iframe for a video. But just to begin with, I'm just going to add an image here. So let's just add an image. And it did add an image here. But I think I have to drag it up on top of this one. Or is it actually inside here? It actually is inside here. It's a little bit hard to see that it's inside the div. So, but we can get an overview here, and this is pretty cool that I get this all this stuff. I don't need the JavaScript now, and I think I can actually, if I go here, I can switch it off, so I got some more space for the CSS, which is probably more better right now. So, and the funny thing about this is also like I get a 600 by 400, so that's I guess we can go ahead and make some changes here. Oh, I can. It actually comes from the placeholder website here. Okay, placeholder. So I can just go ahead and change this to 800 times 400 if I want. Okay, and it's gonna go fetch that. I have an alt description. Oh, this is cool. This is nice. Oh, I didn't see that before. So if I click here, I also have like these element settings, so I can select. This is where I go ahead and do it. Actually, let me go ahead and delete this button again. I'm just gonna go ahead in here. I mean, I'm gonna add a. So I think I'm confused. I probably have to add like a div first, just like I did before, and then I can click this, and then I can go here and select button or whatever. I don't know. I'm guessing that's how I have to do it. So, okay. So we got a button here. We want to go ahead and actually give it some click me or something like that, some text. So if I scroll up here, I got a button here. It kind of looks like a button, but let's try to have a look at this on the front end. I already have this one open. I don't know if it automatically reloads when I do that. I can try to check that. I don't think it did, but maybe it did. Yeah. So this is pretty cool so far. Anyways, let's move on here. So we're gonna probably have to add some styles to all of this stuff here. The section here, I don't know if I want to go ahead and do anything here, but it looks like I have to actually add a selector to get started. So okay, I can add a class, another class, and I add classes by using the dot before. That's cool. Otherwise, I have to spell out the whole thing. I guess I can do an ID as well if I do this. Let's just see what happens actually. Helio, add. Okay, so it adds this one here, and that is, yeah, okay. So did it add, and yeah, it added the ID over here, and it added this, so that's interesting. What happens if I go ahead and delete this? Well, I don't want it anymore. I can't believe it. I can delete it, that's what I mean. So I think I have to go to the HTML and actually delete it here, and then it disappears. That makes sense, that makes total sense. So I'm just gonna save it again, and then we're gonna, so the thing is, you can't just go ahead and style anything here, it seems, without adding a selector, which is, I guess that's the best practice, to have selectors everywhere. Sometimes I do like to mess around a little bit, and I don't want to spend time, I want to try out some things, then I'm gonna go back and give them the right classes and BEM classes and all that stuff. So it seems like a little bit extra work you have to do here to get started, but this is probably the right workflow, to be honest. So section here, I guess I don't need to do anything here, but maybe I'm just gonna go here and I'm gonna add a class. This is gonna be the hero. So I'm gonna add a hero class right here. Interestingly enough, maybe the best way actually would be to just use the BEM stuff, but let me just add the class hero here. And then I am going to add a class hero, and then, this is gonna be the container, because I'm interested in figuring out what actually happens if I go to this one, I right click it, and I say create BEM classes. It looks like it works. I'm going all the way up here, it's creating the classes here, and even though I already created the first one for the section, and this one for the div, the container, it actually doesn't add them twice or anything like that. Why would it? So I guess this is the way you have to, like, one thing here is that it kind of forces you to, I think, is you have to structure everything that you want here from scratch, right? Before you even start designing anything. So you have to like add the classes, the IDs, all of this stuff. Yeah, that's pretty cool because it like locks you in. It forces you to use best practices and all that stuff. So here, let me just try to add something. What I'm looking for here, I know that when Etch first came out with the first alpha versions, people were freaking out that there was this two-way binding, that when you added some CSS rule here, you would also be able to see it in real-time update in a styles panel here, but it looks like that style panel is gone. There is a style inputs here. I don't know what that, oh, there is something there. Let's try to have a look at this. So it actually has a styling panel. I thought that this one was gone, but maybe they're gonna get rid of it later on. This is the latest version, but I heard that it was gone already. Maybe the newest version is not available for download yet. Anyway, so it looks like we still have this styling panel here. But I think I heard that it's going away too. So I'm a bit confused about this. So I can get like flex wrap, all of this stuff here. So this is what people were kind of freaking out over, that you could just go ahead here and you can set, okay, we got this one here. If I add some padding to this, let's just try to add some padding just for fun. And oops, got the keyboard. Let's add a 5 rem padding, whatever. And you get it here. It says expand. What happens here? Well, it just says padding. So what if I want like padding left? Let's change this to padding or top. And then, okay, then it adds the shorthand CSS here. That's pretty interesting. It's just a little bit funny why it gives me 80 pixels here. When I added 5 rem, I would think that this is set to, what is it, 62.5, so 10 pixels is 1 rem. That would, but I'm not sure about that. The thing is, I don't see any settings anywhere where I can go ahead and check anything like that. So that's kind of strange that if I say 1 rem, it's 16 pixels. That should be 10 pixels. So I don't know where to set that, if I have to set that in the CSS, or if it's something that you set up in ACSS for people using that. So, but the cool thing was kind of like, if I go ahead and do this, it's just going to add the code or the CSS to whatever you click over here. And that is what people loved so much. I think. Okay, I just tried to go here to the style manager and style sheets, and these are global styles. So I guess this is where I'm supposed to add this. So I just added the font size 62.5. So hopefully 1 rem will be equivalent to 10 pixels. Now I'm going to save this, and then we're going to find out. I'm going to go back here, and then we will see what actually happens here. Let's go ahead and add, well, let's do the same thing. Padding. 1 rem. So let's see what happens. Oh, let's see. It says 1 rem here, up here. So that's kind of interesting. It didn't give me a pixel value as it did before. What happens if I click this one? That's interesting. So, okay. That's interesting. Let's go to this one in the hero heading. I'm going to go here and add a font size of, let's say 2 rem. Does it do anything? It says, I don't see anything here. Typography, maybe I have. So now it says 2 rem. Before I got a pixel value, so I'm a little bit confused with this, what I'm actually supposed to do. But if we go ahead here, this is a font size, has 2 rem. Let's just go ahead and find out what the computed value is. If we go back here, oh, it doesn't it doesn't. When you save it, it looks like it doesn't actually update the page. So let's go here. And I can see the computed, we can see the font size, 20 pixels. So it works now because I set that up. But it was kind of weird that I saw the pixel value before. Anyways, let's move on and try to build something. What I'm going to do here, just go ahead and remove all of this stuff. If I go ahead and remove this, I'm not removing the selector here. I can just go ahead and select everything, but I'm not removing the selector. I guess I can add and remove this and add more selectors, something like that. I'm not quite sure about that, but let's try to just go here first. We don't want any padding on this. We just want to, let's just give it a height of just 100 viewport height, something like that. And then I got that. So that's pretty cool. So inside here, we want to go ahead in the container. We want this. Let's make this actually a grid. So display grid. Oh. And I gotta say that this is interesting because I'm used to clicking on all of these buttons over here in Bricks Builder, and I do know CSS, and I used to be much better at CSS. But since I started using page builders, I kind of forgot it. So it's like I have to refresh my memory with all of these things, and also like things that are kind of newer with CSS. It's not that new anymore, but flex and grid and all of these things that come along, the new units, the calculation functions, all of that stuff, I I have just been used to like bricks just doing that for me, that I don't have to think about it so much. So I have been lazy. I haven't sat down and looked into how grid actually works when you write it directly in CSS. So this is something that will force me to get back into that. Anyways, I'm going to go display grid here. And then I am going to, I guess I have to, let's make a 2-row grid. So template, grid template, grid. Oh, it's actually showing this up. So, so grid, sorry. That's what I'm talking about. I can't remember these things. Template. Columns right here. So it's giving me suggestions. Let's just say we want to repeat. So this is where it will be nice to actually have a CSS framework, but I'm just going to go in here. I'm going to repeat it twice and one fraction like this. And that worked right away. So let's go and make a gap between these. So I'm just going to go say gap, yeah, 2 rem, something like that. And I see there's something happened there. But I don't really see the gap between them here. It's not like, it's hard to see, but it'll be fun to actually try to add some a variable here. And it doesn't look like there's a variable manager as such. So inside the style manager, I have variables here, but it's just like a normal style sheet, which is fine. So I'm just gonna go ahead here and make a variable just to test if it works. Let's call it content gap. Why not? Content gap. I'm just gonna, oh, like that. Oh, okay. Let's do this. That's how we have to go ahead and do it. But it's nice that it's actually giving me, I was thinking, okay, I'm just writing normal CSS now, but of course I'm writing a variable name, so I have to go ahead and do it like this. It's great that it's giving me feedback. Content gap, which will be, I guess, 2 rem. And I also have my style sheet here. I have the font size here. Okay, that's cool. And I wonder if I have to click save. Actually, let's try to go back here and see if it's still there when I go here, variables. I'm still there, so it probably saved with the page when I save the page. Let me just do that for a second. So I guess I'm just gonna add the gap here, and that is, I'm just gonna try to get, okay, that's interesting. If I want, it would be nice if I had like some way of quickly accessing my variables right here. There's like a key icon showing up here, and if I click this, nothing happened. So let me just, I guess I'm just gonna try to spell it out like this. But it would be great if I got like this, I can just search for it and add it, that I don't have to type it out. But yeah, to me, that's not like the fastest way, I think. Content gap. But it worked. As you can see, something happened there. So I'm gonna save this, and yeah, so far so good. So actually when I hover over this, I can see the gap in between here, but it doesn't, I have to click on this or this, and I can see the separation here. So that seems to be working. All right, let's just add some stuff here. Let's just add testing out Etch. And then we're going to add some lorem ipsum or something like that. I don't know if you can do that. Lipsum or something like that. I'm just clicking right over up here, but maybe I have to go to the editor. Some places you can just go lipsum. Oh, it, it actually made up its own. That's interesting. That's cool. It just made a custom element here. We don't want that. No. What's going on? Okay, like that. Let's go ahead and add maybe lorem, and oh, it worked. Great. I can type out lorem and hit the tab button, so I get some stuff here. That's pretty cool. And then I got a button here that looks a little bit interesting. I'm not quite sure what I should do with this. If I should make it a link instead, or if I keep it a button here, because yeah, I have to do something. But let's just try and style it up here. I don't have to add any functionality yet. There's one thing though that I'm like, I can't stop thinking about. Like, I don't have this library of different components that I can add. So if I want a slideshow or something like that, I know that I have to put everything in here by myself, and I have to like, which is no problem, but I have to add the JavaScript also. So I'm not quite sure where I actually go and add some. It doesn't look like there's any JavaScript here. And do I want to like add it globally? If I only have the slideshow on one page, of course I don't want to load it globally on every single page, not using it. So I'm kind of interested in figuring out how that works, but I can't see any ways to kind of do that yet. Anyways, I'm just nerding around here and figuring out what's going on. So we want to go ahead. This is the text wrapper, the container. Let's go ahead and have the text wrapper here. And let's actually go to the container, and we already set display grid, so we don't want to do that. So inside the first div here, where we have the heading, the lead, the button, and all that stuff, we can go ahead and we can say, let's display this as flex, because then we can center it. And let's go ahead and say, justify content, center. Okay, and it's in the center. That's pretty cool. And that's okay. That's cool. That's interesting. Good. So everything is in the center. It automatically takes the height of the parent, which is good because we have the image here that's 400, I guess. So we could also like have this whole container here. Maybe that I gave this a viewport of like 100 viewport height. So I guess we had to actually add the height to this one. 100%, like if we wanted to take up everything here, and then inside actually we should add some stuff here instead. So yeah, it's, you know, I don't feel like it's faster for me, but I'm guessing that it's just like because I'm like kind of nervous in a way that I have to go back and write everything with CSS because I don't remember everything here, and I'm just used to clicking on buttons. So it's kind of like yeah, that's kind of like interesting. What is the right way of doing this? Because I kind of forgot. This is a little bit embarrassing. But I'm gonna set the height here to 100%. And then everything here is going to be like this, and this one is already justify center, all of that stuff. Actually, I don't want to do this. Actually, I really don't want to do this. I'm not gonna give this any height. Let's just see what's going on, if we can make it look okay. First of all, I'm just gonna go to the hero here, and I'm gonna find an image that we can add as a background image. Maybe that would be, or just add a color or something like that. So I'm just gonna go here, and I'm gonna say background color. I can hit tab, background clip. No, that's not what I wanted. Then I can hit tab, and I'm just gonna give it a teal or something like that. That's very, very beautiful. It looks like that there's actually on this section here, so it looks like the CSS is actually not being reset. That's interesting. So let's go back here, reload the page. Oh, here it goes actually all the way to the edges. So that's cool. But if you go in, this is really, this is weird. I don't know what the heck is going on right now. Oh, okay, this is actually the sidebar. This is not a padding or anything like that. It just looks like okay, that's on me. So we got this back. We got this. And I guess this is I don't know. It's kind of weird. I just saw before that this container actually had a built-in width. And now that I go back here, now after I messed around with it, let's go and inspect it again and figure out what's going on in the body, the main, the section here. It actually had a width, but it looks like that width is gone. So I'm guessing, I don't know what's going on. If I go ahead and I delete all of this stuff here, and I save that, and I go back, reload, I got it here, and it still doesn't have any width. It doesn't look like it, that this, not this section, but actually the container element in here has a width. So that's kind of interesting. It doesn't have anything set. It has a width of 942 pixels now, but where does that come from? Where does that come from? It has this content width that, again, I don't know where that is coming from, but I don't know why it's not centered. Do I have to go, if I undo this, do I have to go and say that I want to center this one? Do I have to go and say margin 0 auto? So it's centered? I'm not quite sure about this. Honestly, I don't really know what's going on here. I'm just gonna go ahead here, and now it looks different here. And the heroes display, oh my goodness, I have the display grid on the hero. Oh my goodness. So I'm messing around here, and that is because I'm not used to this. This is where it should be. So by mistake, I added something up here, and that's not what I was supposed to do. This one looks pretty much like it should do, but I don't know how I got this up here. Let me just Command Z here, and I don't know why I have display grid on this one. Of course, I don't want that. So I put it in twice. And I guess that's just like, okay, I don't have the overview of everything. If I had the whole CSS file here, I would be able to see, well, the parent, you actually put the styles, the wrong styles on the parent. It should be on the first child here instead. So I would like to get a better overview here. I had to click on this and actually notice, oops, I set something on this one. I think the only thing I set here before was the height. 100 viewport height, and then accidentally I added the stuff that I was going to add to the container here. So I don't have to add any margin here or anything like that. So that would have been great to get like a warning or something like that to see that, hey, I messed up, I added it on the wrong thing. So I don't know where we can actually get an overview of that. So that's one thing that, yeah. Anyways, we're gonna move on and see if everything is gonna work just fine or not. So if I want to go ahead inside the text wrapper here, actually that should probably have been the one that I do this, which it is. I'm displaying flex on this one, and I'm justifying the content to the center. That's great. The H1, I want to go ahead here and I want to do a font size. Now I'm just gonna be lazy. I'm just not gonna make any calc. Or not calc, what I'm talking about. I'm not going to make any fluid typography. I'm just going to go, let's say this should be 4 rem or something like that. Let's make it 6 rem or whatever, right? Like that. Now we got something here. And then the button here, I guess you want to go ahead and, I don't know, styling buttons. I haven't done that for a very long time. But actually, maybe I'm just going to make this an A instead. Like a link, and then I'm gonna tell it to not be, I don't know why it's 100% width, so I'm just gonna go the width auto, and let's see what happens there. That's kind of strange why it's, and then I'm going to, what should we do here? Let's add some padding. Oops. Padding. Let's add some, I don't know, just 1M or something like that. And then add a background color, not just a background. I don't have any variables. I'm just gonna write some red stuff here. Red background is not beautiful. Let's just have color white then. Something like that. And the font size should probably be different. The funny thing is, why is this width, why is it 100% wide? This, I don't know why it has a width of 100%, where that one comes from. We can go here, we can try to inspect it, and we can try to have a look here. It has a background, it has a padding, it has a color, but where is the width? Let's go to computed, let's go to width. It does have some weird width here. So probably this is just me. It has a max width. So this is, there's an etch reset here. So that is interesting. It's a max width, but it's working on the A's by default. So I guess, oh my goodness. So I guess I have to go ahead and override that somehow. I think I'm just gonna stop here. I managed to make a little ugly hero section, and I messed up a lot along the way. And this is kind of a humbling experience, because I thought that I was going to be able to build something really fast and use my brush off my CSS skills and things like that. But I didn't manage to. I actually wanted to build navigation as well and make something pretty cool. Not pretty cool, but you know, just play around with it. And I'm still not sure how that navigation thing works, how you actually loop through the WordPress menus and get those there, because there are not any of these pre-made elements that you can go ahead and just drag and drop, like you know from most or all page builders, I guess. This is a brand new way of doing things, and for me, it's great, because I'm getting into this, not coding, but like writing CSS again. And this is kind of like, yeah, it's humble. It's, as I said before, it's a very humbling experience for me. I think I just need to watch some more videos to play around with this some more, to ask some questions in the group, because I can see on the Etch forum that you get access to when you buy it, there are actually many people designing pretty cool things, and Kevin himself is actually designing some pretty cool things, but it's just a matter of getting used to something new and being willing to learn and and just like, you know, solve the problems along the way. But I'm really looking forward to this. I haven't had time to start using it yet, because this is, as I as I said in the intro, every time you start learning something new, it's painful. It takes some time to get used to stuff, and it takes, for me at least, I'm a slow learner, so it takes about a year or something like that, because before I'm comfortable with something new, especially something like this, So I feel crippled when I use this. But I'm sure that as I continue and I make a decision to switch to Etch when I feel like it's totally 100% ready, then it's going to take some time. So it's going to be a hard switch from bricks to Etch if I'm going to do it at all. Maybe I'm just going to use both, But I bought into this, and I really like the way that the direction it's kind of going, because Kevin is not afraid to make some decisions that may be unpopular. And it's just interesting. We just need people like this. We just need people to try new things with WordPress, to keep it alive and stuff like that. So I'm gonna end the video now, and I'm gonna get back to this later on. I hope that I get some time soon to sit down and actually really dig into this. And I'm hopefully gonna make more videos on Etch in the future. Take care.